welcome to Ad America. My name is Ganara, one of the e-guides here in Ad America, and I hope that everyone is staying healthy and safe today. And for those of you who don't already know, Ad America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. Right now, we will be having our first session of Reaching an Agreement, the language of negotiation. But before we start, I have a little fun fact for you. Our fun fact for today is, did you know that most people are not natural born negotiators? The good news is, research consistently shows that most people can significantly improve their negotiation skills through education, preparation, and practice. And now let's welcome our facilitator for today, Ibu Hafilia R. Ismanto, English instructor and materials developer for ESP or English for specific purposes. Ibu Hafil, the time is yours.
Okay, hello, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, can we have the slide, please? Right, okay, so we all know that today's session will be about negotiation, all right? And of course, I will start with what does negotiation really mean? Okay, well, negotiation is a discussion between two or more people with different interests who are trying to reach an agreement. Okay. Therefore, I think the title was Reaching an Agreement, right? I think the heading of today's session was Reaching an Agreement. Okay. Now, why do we have to reach an agreement? Because there are different parties, more than one party. It could be two, it could be three. So people with different interests between two or more who are trying to reach an agreement. So that's basically what negotiation is all about. And who does negotiation? Think about it. Who does negotiation? Do we negotiate on a daily basis? Okay. Maybe many of us think that negotiation has only something to do with the business context, yeah, only in business. When we are trying to reach a deal, to make a deal, okay, for our projects, for our business, right? But look at this. All of us negotiate. Actually, all of us negotiate. This is just a cartoon that I picked up. Okay. And this is an employee. So if you can see, this is an employee, a conversation between an employee and, of course, his superior. When the employee said, I demand a raise or else I will quit today. Okay. And look at the employer who's sitting down in the chair. So he said, goodbye. Okay. And look at the employee in the second square there, right? No, please let me stay. I'll work every weekend for free. And the employer said, okay. Right? Just from these two lines, the two exchanges that you see, right? From the two exchanges that you see. So, is there any negotiation at all? Remember that negotiation is reaching an agreement between two or more people with, of course, different interests, right? Now, as you can see, the employee has an interest there. What is his interest? To get a raise, all right? And but the employer just said, okay, goodbye. Because the way he said it was, I demand a raise or else I will quit. And the employer said, okay, fine. When he said goodbye, what does he mean by that? the boss. What does the boss mean by when he said goodbye? It means that go ahead, you can quit because I'm not going to give you a raise. All right? There was no negotiation. Okay? No negotiation took place here. The employee demanded something, had one particular interest, and the employer simply said no. That's it. Right? But then it was, okay, the second exchange. Look at the second exchange. And then the employee started to say no, because he really does not want, right, to quit. The whole idea was that he wanted a raise, and he made a threat. If he didn't get a raise, he would quit. Thinking, of course, that the employer will then fulfill his needs. Yeah. He thought that the employer would fulfill his needs because he wouldn't want the employee to quit. But the employer said, go ahead, bye. Okay. So, who made the negotiation? Okay, I hope you understand this. In the second dialogue, it says there, or the second exchange, it says there, the employee then said, please let me stay. I'll work every weekend for free. Okay? This is the negotiation process. So that, because the employer said, okay, go ahead, quit. But then he offered something else. Yeah, he offered something else. He said, no, I'll stay. And I will even work every weekend for free. Then, of course, the employer said, good, okay. So the question is, who made the proposal? All right. The employee made the proposal. How did the employer react? Rejected totally and said, goodbye. Go ahead if you want to leave. And then the employee counter his own proposal. I hope you understand the word counter. Counter means to oppose, yeah? To counter. To oppose what he said in the beginning. Demand a raise or else I quit. But then he said, no, please let me stay. I will work every weekend for free. He counters his own proposal, not the employer, but the employee counters his own proposal. And of course, the employer was very happy and agreed. Good. No negotiation took place between the two different people, right? It was simply that the employee, thought that he could negotiate, right? But he couldn't. And so this is between friends. Then his colleague said to him, were you correct that your superior intelligence makes you a superb negotiator? I hope you understand. Superior intelligence. Super. It comes from the word superior. Intelligence is the same like in Bahasa Indonesia, right? So superior intelligence is someone who is very smart, okay? That your superior intelligence makes you a superb negotiator. Of course, this is teasing, okay? Of course, his friend was teasing him. And so that's why he said, please shut up. Because he did not get what he wants. On the contrary, he had to do more things, okay? Not to his advantage, because now he's working on weekends with the same pay, without the raise, all right? Okay, so this is, we negotiate. The whole idea is we negotiate, maybe not every day, but in our lives, it's not just that when we are doing business, okay? It's negotiation happens not just when we are doing business, but it happens in our daily lives. This happened in our daily lives. You're going to the movies, all right? And you cannot decide. One of your friend or your friend, your partner, for example, your friend, your best friend wanted to see drama and you want to see an action movie, all right? There's going to be a negotiation process, yeah? Okay. Now, all right? So this is just to remind you that we negotiate every day or in our daily lives too. And the process of negotiation, okay, in business, usually that also happens in our daily lives. The process of negotiation starts with prepare. So that's the cycle. We have prepare, and then we have exchange. Next is bargain. After bargain, we have conclude or conclusion, and then we have execute. Execute means to apply it, all right? To do it, to carry it out. Just remember that this process, the whole process, builds around a concept or an idea. Why do we go through this process? We go through this cycle because, okay, we go through this cycle because the whole idea is, if we talk about business, it is building trusting relationships. Don't forget, I keep on saying this over and over again, that business is trust. It is a matter of trust. So you go through this cycle, okay, with the idea that you will be able to build, all right, to build trusting relationships. All right. So let's see. We have the preparation, we have the exchange. That's when we interact, all right? And when we interact, there are two parts. There is a discussion. There is also, what do we discuss? Okay. There's also proposals. Proposals does not have to be in terms of a paper. Yes, it could be a document, which is proposal, but we are going to focus more on proposal that you explain, all right, that you propose, that you suggest, suggestions, okay, to your clients. So the second phase is exchange, which consists of discussion and proposal. The third phase is bargain. Remember that many people think, many of us feel that when we negotiate, we're actually bargaining, yeah? We're bargaining. I want this, you want that. And usually we say we have to reach an agreement so that it's win-win solution. In the case of the employee, the cartoon, was it a win-win solution? I need you to think about that. Was it a win-win solution? It was not. It was totally a losing solution. Okay? That's not what we want. What we want with every negotiation, what comes out of a negotiation, is, of course, to make we're half happy and our counterpart, okay, is also half happy. Then we reach what we call an agreement. It may not be 100% okay, what we want, but not also 100% what our counterpart wants, okay? That's that bargaining phase, okay? And then we come to the conclusion, and of course, we need to execute. Yeah, we need to execute means we need to carry out. All right. I'm going to read this, or I'm going to ask you to read this. Those of you who are here, okay, on site, and those of you who are maybe joining us online, I need you to read this. So I'm just going to give you 1 or 2 minutes to read, because when it's reading, read. This is a conversation that somebody on the left, all right, that's a person saying all those lines on the left. So this is, for example, that's A, okay? That's a conversation between A, and then you have and then you have B. This is the exchange. Just to make you understand, to make it clear, so A says something like, Wood Housing, Fiona Matrix speaking. How can I help? The one, okay, when you read Fiona Matrix speaking, how can I help? What kind of conversation is this? Just from the first line. Just from the first line. Do you know? Is this face to face? It's on the telephone. Great. Okay? Because that's usually what you say. Somebody, Hafilia speaking. Okay. Then, Wood Housing, Fiona Matrix speaking. How can I help? And so the caller, the one who called, said, Hello, this is Mandy McDonald calling from Design Express. And she said, Thank you for asking us to quote the yellow highlighted phrases, or the phrase, this is the expressions, the phrases that we usually use, okay, when we are conducting an exchange, yeah? Okay. In terms of like asking for proposals, all right? To quote, for, remember after to quote comes the word for. To quote for what? For designing your digital newsletter, okay? Based on the specification. Again, okay? This is something that we usually use a lot in business. Spec or specifications, okay? Based on the specification you gave, that'll be, okay, anyone knows that currency sign? The L? Pound sterling, okay? So this is pound sterling, all right, okay. So that'll be 75 pounds per page. 600 pounds per issue. Remember, we're talking about digital newsletter, yeah? So you probably understand what a newsletter is a circular, newsletter that you give to everybody. We have it in hard print, but now with technology, everybody is doing it also digitally. Okay. All right. And how does Fiona sound? Is she happy? She happy? Well, how do you know? Because she repeated 75 pounds per page. And then she did say, that sounds rather expensive. Okay? But then she said, but then I don't know about, sorry. That's a typo, yeah? I don't know much. Okay? Forget the about. I don't know much about design costs these days. Yeah. But she said 75 is expensive, right? Hey. And then of course, the other party is trying to look at the word, look at the phrase, assure. Assure means, what are you doing when you're assuring people? You are trying to what? Make that someone trust me, okay? Right? Yeah. Convince, right? To convince. Okay. So she said, this is another phrase. Yeah, look at the phrases. This is very, very common when we try to sell our ideas and try to prove that what we have is the best. So you say, I assure you, you won't find less than what we offer elsewhere. And I hope you understand what it means. Implied, what the person is saying that this is the best price, right? The lowest. You go to other designers, they will charge you higher. Okay? The way they're not saying, look, she's not saying we are the cheapest, yeah? Okay? What she's saying is, you won't find less than what we offer elsewhere. That sounds more, okay? That sounds more, when you say cheap, some people do not like to call their products cheap because cheap has a certain connotation. When it's cheap, it's like the quality is not good. So you don't want to say that, actually. They will use words like affordable for pricing. Okay? What we're saying is that make it cheaper. And then we say, okay, we'll make it affordable for you. All right? Okay? Affordable. Or you can say something like this. You won't find less than what we offer elsewhere. And then again, trying to convince. We're very professional and, of course, extremely competitive. Again, another word, competitive. That means when you are competitive, it comes from what word? Anyone in this here knows another word? Competitive comes from, you've heard the word when you go to, when you see competitions. When you see competitions, then you have competitors, right? Yeah, you have competitors, right? Okay. So we're very professional and extremely competitive, meaning we can compete. All right? Somebody who's, when they say our price is competitive, that means when you compare it with other prices, okay, ours will be quite affordable. Okay? That's the whole idea. All right, because we're talking about pricing here. And then Fiona said, I can't really compare since your company is the only one we asked. But one thing is for sure, your pricing is more than we can afford. That's already a yellow light, yeah? When you are talking, discussing, okay, your offering, and then the other party is already saying, your pricing is more than we can afford. That means Fiona thinks it is rather expensive. That's why she said it's rather expensive. It's more than what we can afford. Okay? Since this would be our first issue and our first time using your services, could you give us a discount? Okay? Got that? Then the salesman, let's say this is a salesman, or sales girl, sorry, Mandy. I'm sorry, but we don't usually offer discounts. Like I said, our price range is the most cost effective. When we talk about price, you hear these are all the words. Cost effective, competitive, affordable. Okay? You got the idea? Instead of saying cheap. Yeah? Okay. And then Fiona said, well, since we urgently need the design, remember, Fiona needs the design urgently. She hasn't asked for other companies to quote, right? We'll pay for the 600 per issue. However, we won't be able to use Design Express for the next issues. Okay? Did Design Express get the deal or not? That's my question. Yes or no? Or yes. Yes, but he got the deal. They got the deal. Oh. We will pay for this issue. Okay? We'll pay for the 600 per issue, but that's only this issue. Next time, remember that maybe a newsletter in annually you have like 3 newsletters, 4 newsletters, maybe, right? Yeah. So the next issues they will not use Design Express again. They got the deal only for one issue. Question, is that what you want? Okay? This is what we mean. And what else can Mandy say? Then she said, I'm sorry you feel that way. Okay. Is this a win-win? Do you think this is a win-win? Who's not winning? Is Fiona winning? No, because she has to pay more than what she can afford. How about Mandy? Is Mandy winning? Not really. Okay, why not really? Because only one shot, right? That again, okay, that's the question that you need to answer. Okay, when you're representing your company, when you're making an offer, all right, this is what we call the preparation stage. Remember? Okay? This is the preparation stage. Now I'm going to ask you, were both of them prepared? The preparation stage says, this is what you need to ask yourself. What you ideally want to get out of the negotiation. What do you want to get of before you go to negotiate? You have to decide, what do we want? We want long term, short term? Okay? We just want to get this deal, forget about the other deals, we don't care. All right? That's the decisions that negotiators have to make before the negotiation process. What are you prepared to accept? If we talk about pricing, if you feel that your product with the quality that you have is the most cost effective already, then you can say, I'm not going to give any discounts. Okay? So you set out to negotiate, but you already have an agenda. The price stays. Okay? Unless you buy 1,000 products, I'll give you a discount. You get the idea? Those are all your preparation stage. Be prepared. What's your main aim and what's your secondary aim, if any? Okay. I'm asking, does Mandy have an aim at all? Does she have a secondary aim or not? Her main aim is just, okay, this is it. I'm not going to give you discounts, right? Yeah. Perhaps other negotiators will say, well, wait a minute. Okay. Can you guarantee that you can give me 4 issues? Give me a 1-year contract. Give me a 2-year contract. Then I'll give you discounts. You get the idea? With pricing, it's always economic of scale. Yeah, that's what we call economic of scale. Depends on quantity. Okay, pricing. All right, but there were no intention at all from Mandy's part. Okay, best alternative to a negotiated agreement, meaning, ya udah. So what is the best alternative if your original plan does not work? Find out, and then the second most important part when you are preparing to negotiate, find out who you will negotiate with. Are we going to negotiate with a very important key person, or are we still talking with sales to sales? Got it? What position does that person hold? What I'm talking about, key person, is that meaning it means that it's decision makers. Yeah? Okay. What might they want out of the negotiation? You probably have to know that. What might be their objections to your proposal? Okay? All right, my example, because I'm teaching and I do test prep, what happened is when I see the present score of any test, okay? When I see this is your test now, and then my students will say, I need to get this score, okay? And then I will say, you're going to have 80 hours. You're going to need 90 hours. You're going to need 60 hours. You got that? And usually, I know they're going to object. Why? 60 hours? 90 hours? I only have 1 month. You got the idea? Okay. Yeah. I can read that. I have to retest already by next month, because the university, usually because they are applying abroad, universities, I have to submit my score already by the end of this month. And I go, what? And then you need that, you need to, let's say, increase your score by how many, right? And if I say 100 hours, I know they're going to object. You get the idea? So I have to have plan B. Got it? Okay. To make sure that it fits, yeah, the schedule, as well as, of course, the target. Okay. You have to know what the objections might be. Okay. Different culture, remember that different cultures think different ways. Think differently when you're speaking to an American, when you're speaking to a Japanese, when you're speaking to, even in Indonesia, when I'm speaking to different cultures in Indonesia, I'm Japanese, so I know how the Japanese think, all right, and how they make decisions, okay? And when I talk to different cultures from Sumatra, all right, I know that we have to wait. Okay, don't get offended. So calm down. That's not what they mean. So we have to study, yeah? We have to study, get to know different cultures, think of their ways versus your ways. All right? That means doing research. Consider how to build trust and understanding to offer compromise. Bargain, and then you reach an agreement because there is a compromise. Okay? Compromise and find another word, another phrase in English, common ground. What do we want? What do you want? What I want, that is the same. That's what we mean by common ground. Focus the success because the build trust and understanding, offering compromises and finding common ground, okay, builds this. This is for the success of the negotiation, and of course, more than that, it is building a long-term business relationship. Question: did any of the speakers here prepare? Mandy didn't prepare because she simply said, "Huh, you're asking a discount. We don't give discount." Right? And even Fiona didn't prepare because she only asked one. So she couldn't compare when Mandy said, "Hey, we're the most competitive, you know. If you compare us with other companies, we have the lowest price." And so Fiona is saying, "How would I know? Because I haven't asked anybody else," right? So those are the things that you need to understand and to be prepared to do when you're preparing. Okay? Another one. And this time, the highlighted words that you still remember, okay? I hope you still remember from this or from the previous one. Okay, so this is a conversation again. Who wants to try? What's the answer for A? You know XYZ, the large building company in ABC. That's the name of a place, yeah, ABC. They ask us, what's the word, the phrase that we usually use? Price. To quote. When you ask the price, okay, tell me, I have this project, so give me the pricing. To quote. Quote from quotation, right? To quote. For pine flooring for the hallways in the new office block they're working on. I fax the apa? They ask us to quote. So, I fax the what? Specification? Remember, quote, to quote has two meanings or has two forms. To quote is a verb. I faxed the quote. Is that a verb or a noun? A noun. Yeah. So you can also say, I will quote for you. I'm going to give you the quote by email. Is it okay? You got that? Right. So you can use quote, but different meaning, different function. Yeah. And then I faxed the quote yesterday and they wanted us to be prepared to lower our prices. I said I'll call back by the end of the week. But frankly, what is frankly? Is it how you really feel or what's frankly? Are you being honest or not when you say frankly? Being honest? Yeah. Frankly, okay. Ya, terus terang, alright. Frankly, I'm not sure. Yang tadi ada I assure you, but then she's saying, I'm not sure what we should do. We gotta lower the price. Be prepared, katanya gitu kan. So of course the colleague or maybe her superior will ask, how much is the job worth? Worth. Value. Okay? We usually say worth. How much is the job worth? And then she said at least, again, pound, 25,000 pound just for the flooring. Then there's the delivery, labor, fitting, and so on. Because it's 25,000 plus. And then the superior said, wow, in that case, I think we should. Does the superior want to get the project or not? Yes or no? Wow. So do you think does he think this is a good project for them? Yes. Because of that, remember, yeah, they already quote, right? They already quoted. And then the other party said, be prepared to lower your pricing. Gitu kan? So the supervisor said, wow, but it's a good project if we get it. So I think we should. What are we talking about now? Yeah. So the noun, yeah, sorry, the verb, okay? Negotiate. So we have negotiate, we have negotiation. The person, we have a negotiator. All right. Okay. I agree, but what do you think we should offer? And so the supervisor or the colleague said, we could drop the price by 20, that's a P, yeah? Pence per meter, as that would make us cheaper than our main competitor. Okay, this is the word cheaper. We can also use, we don't want to use, more competitive, right? Okay. I don't think that's enough, he said. If we just drop 20 pence per meter. Some of the bigger retailers are charging just 16 pound, 16 pound and 50 pence a meter. I think we should reduce. What's another word for reduce? Lower. Okay, lower the cost by a pound from 16.99 to 15.99. That'll make us more competitive. They'll make us more competitive. Okay, so the soup said, sounds good to me. Main aim. Because the project is, because they know that XYZ are doing a project for a whole building, right? But now they're asking the quote only for the hallways. You got that? But the supervisor or the colleague said, I think our main aim, tadi ingat ya, prepare. What is your main aim? Our main aim should be to get the contract for the hallways flooring. That's the main. But remember, XYZ will need flooring for the office space too. So if the goes well, you could then try to get them to give us the contract for the offices too. Right? This is a very different approach than the first one. No discount. We don't offer discount, right? Okay. So will make us more competitive. We should negotiate we should negotiate. So if the negotiation, okay, if the negotiation goes well, you could then try to get them to give us the contract for the offices too. You're thinking main aim, secondary aim. Got it? Okay? Okay. Yeah? All right. So, there's the preparation again. So I'm just going to go to the next one. And this is your language, everyone. During the preparation stage, when you're talking, all right, when you are during the preparation stage, just like the conversation between the two colleagues, when you're working in a multinational company maybe, but these days I think even you're not working for a multinational company, you're using a lot of English in the office. Yeah, I know that people who are working for local companies, big local companies, national players, they usually always use English in their emails, in their phone calls, in their conversations. They use a lot of English already. Now, asking for opinions, because during the preparation stage, you're going to ask, right? Just like the person who asks, what should I do? I don't know. They ask us to prepare for a lower price. What should I do? Okay. Asking for opinions, those are all the things. You can just take a screenshot for this. What do you think about the project? What do you think about the pricing? What are your thoughts on? Focus here. I'm sure you know what do you think about, what are your thoughts, but sometimes we do, we have slips on the preposition. Yeah. When you say think about, when you say what are your thoughts on, not what your thoughts about. What are your thoughts on? How do you feel about? What's your view on? Do you think we should, without on, without about? Got it? Because it should. That's already, you remember can, may, must, shall, will, should, could? Okay. Do you agree with? All right? Those are the things that you need to remember. And then you give an opinion. What do you think about, what do you think about the project? I think, okay, I think we should make a good proposal. Okay? I think we should do what? It might be a good idea to what? To do what? To reduce the price. Right? To reduce maybe not just the price, we could also reduce the time frame. Maybe it's too long if we talk about 3 months. Can we reduce it? Make it shorter, to shorten the time. To. Okay? To do what? So you have the verb there. This is your language. All right? In my opinion, in my view, we should. Usually when you give an opinion, you use a lot of should, because you are still discussing. You're still negotiating, actually, yeah, with your friend. Okay, responding to opinions. So I think we should reduce the price. Why don't we reduce the price? And then you can say, I agree. You can say, that sounds good, sounds fine, good idea. You may want to be negative, yeah? That's positive, the green one. But sometimes you want to respond negatively because you don't agree. And you can say, I don't think that could work. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not sure I agree. Or you want to be like, I understand, but. Right? Okay. Prioritizing, that means what do you want? Our main goal, our main aim, our focus is to. Maybe you will say, getting a long-term contract is more important than getting just one shot. Okay? Got it? That's our main aim. Or you may want to say, ay, udahlah, we just get the contract, just get the one issue, the design for one issue, and not for the whole yearly issue. So you can say that getting one issue, okay, designing a newsletter for just one issue isn't as important as designing a newsletter for the whole year. It would be better to focus on. So those are the useful phrases. And don't forget, sometimes when you respond, when you give your opinion, you also need to give your reasons. Because of apa. So that we will have a good relationship. Okay? This means that they will always contact us. This would allow, enable, or help us to propose tadi, not just the hallway, to get the flooring for the other floors, right? This way, we could attract them. This way, we could get their attention, right? Those are your English phrases. Okay. All right. Now, I don't think we should sign the contract. These are the common mistakes. I don't think we should sign, yeah? After should, after could, after might, go straight to the verb. Not, there is no should to, could to, will to, okay? Will to go. No, 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 no. I will to fax. No, I will fax. I will email. All right? Okay. How do you feel about negotiate on your own? After about, it's a preposition kan? After about, you need that gerund. Masih remember? You still remember gerund? Verb plus ing. Pokoknya mau negotiate, ya negotiating. Meet, meeting. Talk, talking. Yes? No? Or, okay. Come on. I don't think that would work. Is it okay or not okay? Come on. It's okay. Yeah, okay. Don't get trapped, yeah. Don't get trapped because I put something wrong and then automatically number 3, oh, there must be also a mistake. I need you to focus, all right? I need you to focus. And otherwise you'll be like robots and go, number 3, what's the mistake? Can't find the mistake, miss. Yeah, there is no mistake. Oh, okay. What about this one? Come on. Do you want to correct this and become a better English speaker or not? What your thoughts? This is bahasa Indonesia ya. Ini bahasa Indonesia loh. Ya kan? What your thoughts itu? Apa pikiran salah? Oke. Jadi kalau bahasa Indonesia is correct, right? Apa pikiran kamu, apa pendapat kamu gitu kan? In English? What? Oh iya. That's from SD, SMP, SMA ya. Oh iyanya itu loh. Oh iya. When you were in SMP, when you were in high school, oh iya. Okay. When you were in college, oh yeah. Okay. Until you become the director, you're going to say, oh yeah. Okay. So when is it? Come on. What your thoughts? That's Indonesian ya. Okay. Nah, because you need, what are your thoughts on lowering the price? You're asking about their thoughts. Okay. What are your thoughts? All right. Last one. Yo. Come on. It might be a good idea to consider their possible objections. Is this correct? 100%? Sure? Yes. Ya udah. Okay, there is no oh yeah ya. Okay. It might be a good idea to consider their possible objections. And this is usually where number 5 is usually in what stage? You think about that? The first stage of the negotiation, which is preparing. You're preparing already, okay? Okay. What about number 6? Our main aim, this sentence is missing a verb. Verb. Loh kok terus kaget? Why are you surprised? Huh? There is no verb. It's a gerund. What is the verb? Agree? No, 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 no. Our main aim is apa? Agreeing. Nah, ada yang hilang lagi nggak? Agreeing. When you agree apa tadi? Nah, loh. To, with. Hah? Agree usually we say agree kalau with itu usually a person. I agree with you. You get it? Yeah. But an idea we can say on. Okay. So ya udah lagi. Okay. Right. Our main aim, guys, remember ya, is a verb ya, is a verb ya. That's why we cannot say you cannot say I tired gitu loh. Karena nggak ada verbnya. In English, all sentence must have a verb. Must. You cannot say I hungry. Why? There is no verb. You get it? Hungry is your state kan, your condition. Verbnya apa? Ya itu yang dari SD, is, am, are itu loh. Iya. Sometimes you need to use the is, am, are. But you don't use it gitu. Jadi I tired, I angry, very angry. Use I am. Oh okay. And then you say, oh I am agree, I am disagree. Lah, benar nggak I am agree? Ayo, benar apa nggak benar? No, because agree is already. Okay. Oh iya, ya. This is a very, because you are all Indonesian, all right? This is very Indonesian. I know what's difficult for us as Indonesians, because this is the system when the language is different, right? And that's what you need to know. So stop using M, taking M everywhere gitu loh. Kan I have to take M. Oh ya, I am agree gitu kan. I am happy. Ya benar kalau I am happy, right? But then if it is you have a verb already, then you don't need. Karena kenapa? Karena si to be itu is a verb. Gitu loh. Oke? Okay. Alright. And agree with, when you agree with a person usually. Yeah. An idea, yes sometimes, but you can also use agree on a realistic schedule. Okay. Yuk. Come on. Kan practice. Right. Tadi ada specify the verb, and then we talk about what? Based on your, kan specify the verb. Based on your apa? Oh yeah, the specification comes from the verb specify. Dia juga gitu loh. Specify, specification. Jadi if you're talking and you're asking for specification, you can say, please tell me your specification. Or please specify. Okay? Got it? Yeah, okay. Ya, quote. Itu verbnya apa quote? Hah? Okay, wait. What about nouns? If I say, okay lah, quote can be a noun, it can be a verb. There is another noun. Do you know there is another noun for quote? Quotation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. To agree, nounnya. Okay. Fittings. To charge. charge. Don't forget the charge. Okay. Yeah. Now, let's continue. All right. Let's continue to the next phase. Yeah. We talk about preparation. All right. We talk about preparation. Let's now continue to the exchange. Remember that the exchange has two parts. It could be a discussion. It could be like giving proposals. All right. It could be like asking opinion. It could be proposals. All right. Suggesting something. All right. Now, I need you to, and at the exchange is that when you start to interact, when you start to talk about, okay, let's talk about business. Gitu ya. When you start to have to really initiate the negotiation process. First, I need you to figure out, is A in the beginning of a negotiation? Is B in the beginning or at the end? Is C at the end only? What do you think? A first. A. Is that the beginning or the end part of a negotiation? What do you think? In the beginning? Yeah. So in the beginning, you can also see that how do we start a negotiation? By iyalah, introduce yourself. Yeah, don't just sit at the table. Okay, let's negotiate. What do you want? Okay. So we open up, of course. Shall we start by introducing ourselves? And then, of course, you introduce yourself. You introduce your colleagues who are there. Okay. And you welcome, of course, your visitors who come to your office, right? And then you start. Let me begin by welcoming you to our new offices. Okay. What about B? Is that at the beginning of a negotiation or at the end? B, 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 B. The end. What's the key word? Wraps up. You know what wrap, yeah? It's like a gift wrapper. Wraps it up. Okay. Do you think we could have that in writing by the end of the week? Remember when we are discussing, and then we reach an agreement, right? It has to be minutes. We have to have it in writing, the minutes. Okay. And again, you will come up with words, expressions like wrap it up at the end of a negotiation. Could we have that in writing? That's the phrase, yeah? Could we have that in writing? In writing. Okay. It's okay if you say, could you write that? But that's different, yeah? When you say, could you write that, means the person will write it. But if we have that in writing, it means we have the document. I want the document in writing, okay? I will get my secretary to fix the next meeting. Usually, when we end a negotiation, yaudah, let's meet. We'll talk about the contract. We'll talk about the final agreement. Give me the draft. We'll look at it again. So we usually prepare for another meeting. Can I just go over? What is go over? Another word, come on, synonym. Thesaurus. Huh? Repeat. Review. Lah, can I just go over what we have discussed gitu kan? Yeah, go over means yeah, we review it, yeah. Yes, repeat, but then we review. Look at it again. Okay. And then ya kalau can I repeat? Yeah. The word is go over means that yes, you repeat it, but then of course with important points already, right? Not necessarily everything in detail again. Can I just summarize? See, you have those words at the end of a meeting. This is not just a negotiation, actually. At the end of a meeting, you summarize, okay? You put something in writing. You go over, you review, you wrap up. Got it? At the end of a presentation, you wrap up. All right? Okay. See? Beginning, ending. See. At the beginning of a negotiation or a meeting of negotiation or at the end? Okay. So the goods will arrive by Friday as we agreed. That means there is that process, yeah? Have I missed anything out? That's what you do when you go over. When you go over, and then maybe your counterpart will say, wait. Remember, we agreed on this too. Yeah? Okay. Were there any final questions? And then, of course, I look forward to, yeah? I look forward to whatever. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to speaking with you. I look forward to talking on the phone with you, etc. Okay? And the word covered. You have summarized, you have covered. You see, all those vocabulary are used during the end of meetings, not necessarily negotiations, but also meetings. All right? And this one? This is very clear. Come on. In the beginning. Okay. Don't forget, if your client, okay, comes from, they traveled all the way to Jakarta to meet you, don't forget, yeah? Did you have a good trip? Where are you staying? How long are you going to be in Jakarta? Okay. Have you seen, is this your first trip to Jakarta? You got that? If they're coming from abroad, other countries, or maybe from other parts of Indonesia. And the last one? Beginning or ending? Okay, beginning? Yeah. Can we start by hearing your initial offer? Can I begin? Can I suggest? Okay. Hold on. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. Now I'm going in the stages of a negotiation. Usually, when you're meeting to negotiate, you welcome someone. Welcome to our offers. Welcome to blah, blah, blah. Don't forget, yeah? Okay. Introductions. Don't forget to introduce yourself. Introduce your colleagues. Okay. Don't forget to have small talk. You know what I mean by small talk? Yaitu, how did you get here? Oh, how was traffic? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. Small talk. And then you have to set the agenda. Many meetings do not, you don't have like an agenda. And so what happens is that you go here, they talk about this, they talk about that, all right? And you state the interest. I'm going to ask you to listen. Now this time it's listening, all right? We still have about, who's going to, where's the E? Where is the E guide? Are there any questions? Maybe I will give you about 10 minutes for question and answer, all right? Okay, so let's just go on here. Are there any questions?
Yes, we've already got 4 questions, Ibu.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That means I will stop after this, yeah, because
Okay.
we only have that time left. Thank you, Gennara. Okay. Now, listen first. This is an example. I want you to listen to the stages, the different stages, all right? Okay.
Audio 2.1. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Leclerc Electronics. My name is Martin Stewart, and these are my colleagues, Valérie Dupont and Hubert Chevalier.
Oh, Good morning, and thank you. We're happy to be here. I'm Emma Sedira, head of sales at By Design. This is my assistant, Simon Clark.
Pleased to meet you. I hope you had a good journey.
Yes, the flight was fine, and just a slight delay on the roads because of heavy traffic.
Ah. Have you been to Lyon before, Mr. Clark?
No, this is my first visit, so I'm looking forward to seeing some of the sights, if our schedule allows it, of course. Oh, and call me Simon, please.
You must make time to visit some of our restaurants. Lyon is famous for its cuisine, you know.
Right, shall we get down to business? I suggest we start by clarifying what is needed, and then we'll see whether we can do business together. Okay?
Fine.
Well, I'm sure you're aware from our telephone conversation and email exchange that Leclerc Electronics is looking to expand into new markets.
Uh-huh.
We have a solid client base in France, Belgium, Spain, and Luxembourg, but we're hoping to open up in the rest of Europe and possibly into the USA. An important consideration for us is to portray the correct image, a good quality electronics firm with modern ideas and up-to-date products. We want a new image that will be recognized internationally.
Right. Well, By Design is keen to work with well-known companies like Leclerc Electronics, but we aim only to accept contracts where we can be sure of providing a top-quality service, which means we need to have a detailed brief and one contact person who remains the same throughout the project.
Oh, that sounds reasonable. We should be able to assign one person for the...
Okay. Did you hear the welcome stage? Did you hear the welcome? Yeah, welcome to blah, 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 right? Did you hear introductions? Yeah, there are how many people were there? Only two? I think there were, yeah, I think each company was represented by like one or two people, yeah? Okay, and then what was the small talk about? How they got there, the traffic, and then what else? Was that the first time in the city? Okay, and then the woman said, well, if you're here, you have to try the restaurants, something like that, right? So they talk about what they can see in the city, knowing that their guests are from maybe out of town, yeah? Okay, did they set the agenda? Yes or no? Huh? No, that's when you get confused. Okay. Did they did they state the interest? They did state the interest, yeah? Because I think each company wants this. We would like, the last one, the woman I think was saying we need one person to be the contact, okay? And that's going to be that person only, meaning that through all the various stages. So don't give me A and then B and then C. That means A has to take care of everything. That is part of stating the interest. You got that? Yeah. This is still at the beginning stage of the negotiation. You got it? Yeah. So all this has to be brought forward very clearly. Okay. So because I have questions, am I correct? From people where?
They are from Twitter and Instagram.
Okay. The question is, so, and if you have questions, go ahead and ask me, all right? Okay. Yes.
I'll sit
Sure,
over
sure.
there. Okay. So our first question, Ibu, is from Twitter, and her name is Putri. Putri asked, do you have any tips to negotiate with higher leaders? Maybe with politicians or government officials?
That's going to be very difficult because, no, government officials have, like I said, like cultural stuff that we talk about. Yeah. The way you negotiate with government officials, you have to know, again, customs. Right? Talking to government official is I'm saying difficult? No, I do not have an experience with that. I have been in negotiations and talks, discussions with government officials. What I can say is sometimes because they're government officials, because they're top leaders. The thing is that they do not really go to the tactical. You have conceptual, and then you have the tactical planning, all right? The strategic planning, and then you have the tactical, yeah? Now, higher officials, leaders, even if not government, yeah, but in the companies, higher officials in the company, they think strategically. That's why they are CEOs. That's why they are COO. That's why they are CFO. You get the idea? Their job is to think strategically, okay? And not go through details, because then their job is to of course, decide on policy. You get that? And the ones who are going to implement are, of course, the middle, what do you call that? The middle level of the hierarchy, whatever hierarchy they have. So talk strategically. Okay? If you want to negotiate, then you should bring your thoughts. Okay? You should talk about things, propose things that are strategic rather than very tactical things. That's the only thing that I can say.
Okay, thank you, Bu Hafil. We have another question. This question comes from YouTube. Her name is Gita. Gita asks, how to negotiate with a partner who is already close-minded?
How to negotiate with a partner who is already close-minded? You have to ask his opinion, right? Sometimes it's very difficult when you discuss and negotiate with someone who's already they already have an idea and they think the idea is A. What I usually do is when I find people like that, I would ask that person to justify. It's not just asking questions. Yeah, it's not just what's your opinion, right? But then, okay, why do you think that way? Okay, if you think that way, give me an example. All right, and what about? Okay, that's one example, but I have another example. What do you think? You got that? You have to counter or try to open the mind by asking them to justify. Justify means they have to give support. They have to give reasoning. That's the time when sometimes, when we quote unquote argue our reasoning, that's the time when they realize, yeah, I'm not always right. You got that? Okay? Try that. Yes? And another question?
Yes. We still have two questions, Ibu. The next question is another question from YouTube, and it's coming from Rizky Abdillah. Rizky asks, is rejection the end of negotiation, or can we try harder?
It depends on how you are rejected. Okay? But it depends on, how you're rejected. If it is totally, they say, no, don't call us, we'll call you. You got to you have to give the person, the company space. Yeah? But it's, again, if you feel that there is, maybe this is not the right time, okay, then you could, of course, offer, all right, Pa, we will come back. Yeah, we will have another proposal. Perhaps it's not for this project, but we will surely try or chip in for other projects. So it's never a rejection, meaning that maybe you're being rejected for one particular collaboration, but there's always another chance, opportunities to have in another collaboration. That is why, don't forget, that is why always okay, let me see. You can see that. Building trust. It's okay if you get rejected, right? But because sometimes people reject you because simply like Fiona, I don't have the money. I like your design. I don't have the money. I don't have the budget. You got that? It's nothing to do sometimes with quality, yeah? But then you have to understand, at least, but then you're saying, yes, I'm sorry, but then if you're asking with that specification, this is the price. Then at least Fiona will have that trust relationship with you. Next time, I will find funds, for example. Okay? Okay. And the next one?
Okay, we have another question, Ibu, from Instagram. This is coming from Edo. Edo asks, in your opinion, is it better to conduct a negotiation in a formal or in an informal way?
Again, I have to say it depends. That's why you have to be prepared, kan? You have the preparation stage, yeah? Preparation stage means also to be prepared with what kind of person you're going to talk with. You got the idea? And you have to, I don't mean spy, tapi you have to find insider information gitu loh. If you know you're going to meet the director or the manager or the whatever of a company, okay, a decision maker, you have to ask around. Si Pak ini kayak gimana sih orangnya? You understand? You got to do that. You have to do that. Orangnya kayak apa ya? Okay. And the way I do it is if I don't know somebody that well, I listen a lot. I don't go blah, 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 blah. Because then I listen a lot. And I ask a lot of questions just to get to know. Oh, this is the way that he thinks. This is the way that she thinks. Oh, ini gayanya seperti ini ya kayaknya. You understand? For me to adjust. You got that? But again, this is the preparation. Tadi ada yang kedua kan? Ada yang find out who you're going to meet, who you're going to negotiate with, what kind of person he or she is. Ask around or just listen to that person for the first few minutes during the negotiation. Formal and informal depends on those things. Okay, that's for Edo, right? Yeah.
I think we don't have any more questions from social media, Ibu, but if there are
Okay.
questions from the audience, does anyone want to
Audience?
ask? You can just, okay.
We still have one more question. We still have time for, I think, one more question.
Only my name? Just my name. Okay, hello, Ibu. My name is Anissa. So I want to ask one question. So I want to know, how do you know a bad negotiation is? Like, is it two-person win-win or win-lose or lose-lose? Or maybe is there any tricks? Is it only just for the words or maybe just maybe we are wrong in the prepare exchange? Yeah.
So
Or maybe
you're asking me, how do we know
a bad negotiation. That is a bad negotiation.
the negotiation did not reach an agreement? Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Uh-uh.
Anissa, communication is more than just words, right? That's why I said if I don't know people that well yet, and I have to do a lot of business with them, okay? So what I do is that I listen to them a lot in the beginning. I let them display their character, their thoughts. You got that? We observe. Then you do the observing first. Yeah? That's the same. During the negotiation process, it's not just what they say, it's how they say it. Some people say, that's a good idea, but really does not mean good loh. Yeah, good idea, see. You understand? It's not like, oh, wow, yay, good idea. That counts loh, yeah? That's why communication is just not the language, it's how the language is said, number one. And look at your non-verbal. Look at your partner's non-verbal
Yes.
communication. That will give you a feel. Nih dia nggak seneng nih. Dia tapi dia kayaknya nggak dengerin deh. You understand?
I understand.
Okay. Ya kan? Ya kan like you when because you've been students, right? Yeah, when your teachers are saying something, you pretend that you listen kan? By
Taking notes.
not everybody who takes notes during a conference are taking notes loh. You got that? They may be doodling. You know what I mean by doodling? Urek-urek. Or they may be asking, why is she asking this? Oh boy, this is going to take more than 30 minutes. You know, yeah, some people are very good. What do you call that? They're very good, yeah, with their facial expressions. But again, Anissa, I think when you listen, observe enough, you will know whether the negotiation is really good or bad. You know what I mean? Yeah, whether they agree but they're happy, or whether they agree but they're not happy. You got it? Just because we agree does not mean that we get what we want. And how do you know that? You know that through facial expression, you know through during the discussion, through the, what is that? Intonation, right? And the words they use. Okay? Anissa, does that answer your question? A bit?
Yes.
All right.
That's answer my questions.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so I think the time is up, right? Yeah, they're telling me. Shut up. Okay. No. Okay, so I think the time is up. I'll give it back to
Thank you, Bu Hafil, and thank you, everyone. Please give a round of applause for Bu Hafil. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your participation today. How do you guys feel? Great. Okay, I really hope that after this session, you guys gained a lot of knowledge and also insights. And if you guys are interested in attending more of our events here in At America, you can visit our website at www.atmerica.or.id. And you can also follow us on our social medias. We've got Instagram, Twitter, and also Facebook at AT America. All right, everyone. With that, I think it is time to say goodbye. Again, my name is Genara, and see you soon at the next At America event. Thank you, everyone.